Okay, hello again. I'm going to be doing a little bit of altering on that Holiday Anya that I used in the previous video. So I'm just going to jump in and do that real quick. And what I'm going to do is I want to streamline her dress a bit, I guess. I'm going to be fussy cutting her out at the end, so it's easy enough. I'm going to cut away these extra ribbons here. So all I have to do is I'm taking my little Copic multi-liner 0.3 black pen, and I'm going to finish this line here just to make the dress in there. So instead of being kind of a sash on that ribbon, this is going to become part of the pattern of the dress that I'm going to be coloring in. Easy as that, not a real fancy altering for that part. So I just am going to color her dress, and she's going to be on a Christmas card, so I'm going with kind of a holiday red and green theme. Red, white, and green. So I'm going to do the white first. I'm just using my E40, E41, and a 0 combination. And I'm going to have this stripe here be white. And when I remember to do it, I like to do my lighter color first, because most of this dress is going to be red, and I'd be having to be very careful if I did the red first that I wouldn't pick up the red while I'm coloring with this lighter, the E40, and make it a little pink on accident. So I was thinking ahead on this one, and I decided to do the white part first. I'm not always that organized, but this time I was. So give myself a pat on the back there. And then that was the E40 first, the E41, just a touch of it, and then I'm just blending it out, keeping most of this white, because I don't want it to look, gray or kind of murky. It is going to be a slightly off-white in the shadows, but I want this to read pretty bright white for the dress itself. And then the only little bit of green that I'm going to have is actually this little stripe created back here and her shoes. And since those are so small, I am going to work just dark down to light and just do a single pass. So YG67, I'm just kind of hitting back there. And then because, when I did the legs, my darkest shadows were on the outside there. So I'm following the same principle for the shoes, so that the shadows will be in the line up with the shadows on the leg. YG25 is my middle tone. I'm just going right over that 67 and pulling it out. Doing the same down on her shoes. And filling in the rest of that white area with a YG23. On both the shoes and on that stripe on her dress that we've kind of created by getting rid of the ribbon sashes. And I'll take the YG67 just while it's still wet, just hit right where I know where I want it to be darkest, and then skip back down to the lightest, the 23, and help blend it a little bit. There we go. That's all I'm going to do with that. So now to the red of her dress. I'm going to be using R14, R17, and then skip into a E07 and see how that works. R14 is my lightest, so I'm going to start coloring in her dress. I'm having it go all the way up like it's a nice, high neck back here. So I'm going to go right underneath there. And then have it be darker along this edge too, because we got that front-facing light source. So for the most part, I'm going to have the shine, if she's wearing kind of a satiny dress, let's say, going across the middle of the dress here. So now my R17 is next, and her chin's casting a shadow, so I'm going all the way across up here, and then I'm just going under that bow a bit, and then pulling from this side, and then this side. Now, my EO7. See if this is enough of a contrast. Oh, I think, yeah, this will be fine. And then do it kind of in there, and then pulling from the edges in. Okay, now I'm going to work my way back down, so my medium tone is the R17. I'm just going to do her on her side so I can really pull this nice. So I'm going right over top of that EO7, coming even further into that white than I did the first time. And do the same over here. And then finish off with the R14, just in the middle. I'm not going to take it all the way to the edges because I want to keep some contrast there. Get on this here. Okay. Now, while it's still wet, I'm going to take my EO7 and darken it up a bit again. A little bit of the 17, and this is just where you decide how light or dark you want your red, or any color that you're working with, because you can add a couple layers and you'll just get a deeper color to it. And since I'm trying to match to a paper, I knew I wanted it a little bit darker than that first pass created. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So, her dress itself is done. Now, let's see, how long did that take? Not too bad. Okay, we'll just dive right into the hair. Why not? So, the hair's going to get a little bit of altering too, but we're going to color this up first. And I'm going to be using E97, E99, and then jumping to an E19, E18 for her combo. So my lightest is the E97, and I always start at the part in the hair and work in brush strokes with the natural grain of the hair, how it would fall over the head. And so this one I'm pulling up, giving her a nice little highlight, you know, across her front of her brow there. Okay, I'm doing the same over on this side. I'm just laying down color, getting it on. Okay, mapping out where my lightest areas are going to be, where my darkest areas are going to be, where I want those highlights to fall. Okay, so this is going to be away. This little bump out, it's going to be kind of closer to the light source, so I'm leaving that white there, giving this a little bit of color. Okay, and bring this down a little bit till I get kind of the halo shape that I'm happy with. Okay, not bad. That looks pretty good. Okay, so there's her base color. I'm not worrying about that ponytail because I'm actually going to cut it away. So E99 is my next. Right on top. Just not pulling it out quite as far as the 97. And always kind of working with the grain of the hair. Back here behind her head's going to be darker because it's more in shadow. And I'm not worrying about going out of the lines over there. because I am going to be fussy cutting her out, so I don't have to be super careful on those outside edges, just in close to her face and her body and stuff. Okay, and then there too. And again, I mean, I keep saying it, but you know, these first passes of laying down color, it's not pretty, and I'm not worrying about it being pretty, so I'm just getting it on there. So E19, again, just kind of playing at that part in her hair, creating some contrast now. The darker kind of red, brown, and then back here, behind her face. It curves around. Do this side. Yeah, that's stuff falling off the desk. It was clean, kind of, but it's piled up a little bit over there, so oops. I'll get to that later. Okay. So now I'm not worrying about this E18 yet. So I'm just working with my 3 colors, the 97, 99, and the 19. So I've got my colors down. Now I'm going to go back and start blending them together. So I'm going to my E99. I'm going to go right over top the 19 and start blending that down, bringing it, you know, pulling it further than I did the first time. This is where I'm starting to blend those colors. And we'll do our 97, not over top where the 19 was, but just in that mid-range. Start pulling it into the white. Okay. Same over here on this side. So I've got my 99 again. So that I am pulling over top the E19 that I laid down. Blend those two out. Do the same over here. Pull from this direction on that curl and there. Okay. Now the E97. Not starting all the way back here, just kind of finding my mid-range right here. Blending those two together. Doing the same over on this side. Pull from this direction, it'll be easier. Don't be afraid to move your little stamped images around. Get the best direction going for your marker. Pull some of that in here. Still leaving a little bit of white for our highlights. Okay. So now is where I'm going to take that E18. It's really dark. And I'm just going to touch it in on that part. Back here behind her head. Just pull it slightly up there. And then just a little bit as it wraps around, as it's kind of pulled there. Give a definition there where the bangs came around. And then just on this little curl here, pull it around. And then use the E19. And once again, kind of blend that out. I'm going to start pulling it, creating some of the lines. And there's some provided on her, so I'm going to kind of use those as guidelines to cross both the light and dark areas of the hair that I've done. And we'll do the same over here. So start pulling it. Okay, so this, I'm going to just kind of meet that line there. Pull it around. Got another line there. Okay, so we got this one here. I'm going to kind of trace out. Got a little heavy-handed there, but that's okay. We'll fix that. And then we'll do this from this side. And I think I'm going to pull a strand back here as well. There we go. Got this little line here. And use that to darken that. Okay. So we've got that. Now I'm going to blend back down with the 99. Just kind of going over top, blending those colors again, darkening up her hair for sure. That's where if you wanted this to be lighter, you'd want to be doing a little less blending than I am. But I'm going for a darker, I could know, how do I describe this hair color? Kind of, it's not a red hair. It's still brunette, I feel. But it's definitely got kind of a brassy look to it. Just thought it would be fun, something different. Okay, so that was my 99. And then just the 97 again. Going into the white a bit, but I'm still going to try to leave a little bit of the white highlighting in there. Do the same on this side. So I'm breaking that, not getting a super solid white line, but I am going to leave some white just to give her, she's got really shiny hair. She worked really hard on it. She's got a special Christmas party she's going to be going to, I think. Okay, so where am I at? It's crazy long. Let's see if I can fit this in there. Okay, so now how I'm going to alter her is I'm not going to fussy cut the whole thing for the video, but this side where her hair is, I'm going to cut that out and get that little curl. So we'll find out if this works or not together, because I haven't actually tried out this alteration yet. But what I want to do, okay, so that's all the fussy cutting we're going to do for the video, is I took this little Princess Anya stamp, and she's got these little buns on the top of her head there. And I stamped it out, and I did a little bit of wiping away because the crown initially came over, but I wiped it away and just drew in the lines there. And we're going to see how it looks, instead giving Anya a little bit of a bun back here, kind of a side bun. A lot of it's going to get covered, so it looks like you wouldn't even need to bother wiping away the crown, actually, if you wanted to recreate this, because I think her face is going to cover up most of that. So I'm just going to really quick take the same colors, the E97. I'm just going to follow the grain of the hair, both sides. And it doesn't have to be perfect because a lot of it's going to get covered. E99 going there right over top. And you can see I'm just being super quick on this. E19. Pull that. Go on that side there. And I'm going to follow those lines. Got some lines there. Okay. Go back down to the 99. Blend that a bit. Leaving the white kind of across the middle there. And then the 97s just from that middle range in. Get these curls here. Okay. And then just a touch of the E18 back here where it wraps around. A little bit there. And then blend that just a smidge. Especially in there, give us some definition. Okay. Yeah, that's going to work out nicely. So I'm just going to take my 97, smooth that out a bit. Okay. So I think I'll probably end up with it about there, probably. You know, so I'm running out of time on this. I don't want to go super long, so I'll finish cutting it out later, but I will glue her kind of down so you can see where I'm going with this. Probably have it about there. And then I'll just, you know, proceed to fussy cut the ribbons away, cut around her little bun. And now she's kind of sleek and ready for her Christmas party. I'll probably add some sparkle and stuff, and I'll have the finished card on my blog, www.1000sheetsofpaper.blogspot.com tomorrow morning, so you can see her all colored up and on a card then. So I hope you enjoyed this second video, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.